Hello, and welcome to Shroud University and the 10-lecture course, The Shroud of Turin, The Ticking Time Bomb. I'm your lecturer, James Thomas Devins, and I go by Tom. The Shroud of Turin is Jesus' burial cloth. Now, I suspect many viewers just hit the back button on their browser. Whether or not the cloth covered the crucified Jesus is a hot button issue, but it will be resolved in this course, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it as a separate issue. The shroud is widely held as the most studied relic in human history. I suspect it is. It is also cloaked in mystery. It tells a story of a man who 2,000 years ago died and he left no corpse behind. Now, I agree, mystery prevails, but the mystery I find is not in the nature of the cloth. The mystery to me is why there is even a mystery. It's a mystery because of the storyline it is attached to. When placed in the proper storyline, the cloth and its many strange features are very understandable. The errant storyline, at least as it was told to me, goes like this. Once upon a time, the god of the ancient Hebrew population, his name was Yahweh, was angry at his human subjects over their disobedient ways. Yahweh had anger issues and demanded tit for tat, eye for an eye retribution for sins against him. So he executed a secret plan that had been waiting in the wings ever since he created the universe. In the plan, he dispatched his only son, Jesus. He dispatched him to earth to set the record straight. Then he had him brutally executed in retribution for man's many sins. It was typical in the tradition to sacrifice animals as make-up for grievances committed or for favors requested. But this sacrifice was special. It not only involved bloodletting, it involved human bloodletting. And it was not just any human. The sacrificial subject was God's only son. Then, in a show of mercy, power, and forgiveness, God miraculously raised Jesus from the dead, body intact, an event that Christians now celebrate every Easter Sunday. In recognition that the sacrifice was acceptable, Yahweh forgave mankind of its sins and promised that on a day that only he knows of, it's called the end of times, Jesus would return and everyone, saint and sinner alike, would get their body back and meet Jesus to receive their just reward. For most of my life, I accepted the storyline, hook, line, and sinker, even though I thought it had a comic book dimension to it. But under no circumstances was I about to get crosswise with a vindictive God who has anger issues. After all, this is the same God that drowned the entire human population except for 7 people. He wiped out the entire Egyptian army with a tidal wave and then had his own son brutally tortured and killed. Yahweh is not someone you want to mess around with. You could say I was driven by fear religion, as are many people this day. Then one day, the wheels came off. First, in reviewing Shroud of research results, I found that there was no bodily resurrection on the first Easter Sunday, the enshrouded corpse vanished in a shower of atomic radiation. It denuclearized. Then I learned that resurrection is not a unique event in human history. Common people have been resurrecting for centuries, even in modern times. Currently, it takes place in the Tibetan Buddhist culture and is called rainbow body. So off I went to Tibet to study it. So what I have done is lift the shroud out of the old storyline and use it and related observations to build a new storyline, and I call it the true nature of reality. Reality in its true nature accommodates a human body naturally vanishing from sight by denuclearization. In that context, I find the shroud is not a religious relic. It doesn't involve God. It testifies to the power of the properly conditioned mind to bring about biological change. The 10 lectures in this course will walk you through the thought processes that I went through in order to arrive at my conclusions. If you receive just a fraction of the benefit from watching the lectures that I did from putting them together, then this course will have been a tremendous success. The path itself is the destination. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit the subscribe and like buttons.